Today we're making these sprinkle sugar cookies. Hi, I'm Tara with Simply Made Eats and welcome to my channel. It is officially Christmas cookie season. We're in December and these sprinkle sugar cookies are one of my favorite recipes. They're super easy. They only require an hour of chilling time and we don't have to do any cookie cutting or rolling out dough. This one's so simple, so let's get started. To get started, we need 1 stick of unsalted butter. This needs to be softened at room temperature for a few hours. It's really crucial. When you're mixing the butter with the sugar, it's gonna get really nice and light and airy and create those air bubbles. If it's hard, it's just not gonna make the right texture of cookies. So please make sure this is nice and softened. For a trick, you can definitely stick this in the side of your pants or in a pocket to warm it up a little bit faster. For this recipe, you can use a half a cup of any kind of sprinkles that you like. However, I do like the long soft sprinkles. These are from Target, they're the favorite day ones. I'm using red, white, and green because it's Christmas time and I wanted to do holiday ones. But you can see they're like long soft sprinkles, and what happens is they really bake into the dough and it just gives it the perfect texture. So I really highly recommend these if you can find them. Okay, so for our dry ingredients, we're gonna be using all-purpose flour. I just wanna show you guys a little trick that I do when I'm scooping my flour. I'm not one of those people that's gonna weigh it out. You can definitely do that. So what I do is I take my measuring cup and I just really lightly scoop into the flour. I don't wanna pack it in like you would brown sugar. I just take the flat side of a butter knife and I kind of just pat it down like this, just so everything's really nice and loose. And then you just scoop the top right off. That's gonna give you more of an accurate measurement because the flour is not all packed down into the cup. And you can see when you pour it in, it's really nice and light. It's not all packed together. So we need 1 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour. Next up we have some salt. I'm using 3/4 of a teaspoon because we're using unsalted butter, so I wanna go a little bit heavier on the salt. Then I've got some baking powder, and baking soda. I'm using a little bit more baking soda versus baking powder because I want a soft and chewier cookie, which we get from the baking soda. Then we're just gonna give this a good whisk and then we're gonna set it aside and get started on our butter and sugar mixture. We're gonna be using a stand mixer with a beater attachment, or if you don't have that, you can use a large bowl with a hand mixer. Next up, we're gonna add that softened butter right into our stand mixer bowl, or if you're using a hand mixer, that's fine too. Then we're gonna pour in our granulated sugar. We wanna beat this for about 2 minutes until it's nice and light and fluffy. Make sure to scrape down the sides as needed. Then we're gonna add our egg and vanilla extract. Beat this for another 60 seconds or so. Then add the dry ingredients and just mix just until combined. We don't wanna over mix it. When the dough comes out, it's a bit on the sticky side, so we're gonna stick this in the fridge for an hour, at least 45 minutes. As we wait on that cookie dough to chill, we're gonna line 2 cookie sheets with parchment paper, or you can use those Silpat mats. Let me know in the comments what your favorite Christmas cookies are. I think mine, I really like peanut butter cookies with those little chocolate kisses on top. I also just love classic chocolate chip, and I love these sprinkle cookies. I could eat a whole batch of them. It was honestly hard for me not to eat the cookie dough before I put it in the fridge, but I know you're not supposed to. Okay, so I've just pulled my dough out of the fridge. It's nice and firm now. It's gonna be really easy to work with. Now it's time to preheat our oven to 350 degrees. Next up, we're gonna roll our dough balls. So I like to do a little bit less than a tablespoon for these. I want them to be a little bit on the smaller side. So I just like to grab a spoon and I just kind of dig it into the dough. And then I'll just take and just roll this up into a circle. It doesn't stick at all. It's just super easy to grab with your hands. And next we're gonna roll it in our sprinkles. I like to really just plop it in there and just roll it around. Make sure you coat everything. And then we're just gonna plop it onto our cookie sheet. I like to push them down with my hands just a tiny bit, just to make them a little bit flatter. Then the oven's gonna flatten the rest of it. And that's it, we're just gonna keep on rolling. These are super easy to make. I love them too because they're pretty, but you still don't have to do the whole rolling dough and cutting cookie cutters. That kind of exhausts me, especially when I make a lot of cookies. I don't wanna have to do all that, have all that cleanup. These are super easy. I usually put about 12.5 sheets. They are gonna spread a little bit, but they're not gonna spread too much, especially because we've chilled them. These are gonna bake for about 11 to 13 minutes in the oven. Once the cookies come out of the oven, make sure to let them cool for about 10 minutes before you touch them, because the color from the sprinkles will totally come off on your hands. I've experienced that a couple times because I get a little impatient about eating them, but just give them a couple minutes just to cool down. That's it, we're all done with these sprinkle sugar cookies. These are so easy to make. I hope you guys try them. Let me know in the comments if you do. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure to give this video a like if you liked it. Make sure to subscribe for new recipes every single week. I love sharing them with you. Merry Christmas. So good. A must make.